It was pouring rain, the kind of night when most people hurry home, heads down, avoiding trouble. But for Daniel Harris, a single father and Army veteran, trouble found him. He had just finished his late shift at a local garage. His boots were soaked, his jacket heavy with water. All he wanted was to get home to his daughter, Lily, an 8-year-old with freckles, big brown eyes, and the only reason he pushed through life's struggles. But as he turned down a dimly lit alley shortcut, Daniel froze. A woman's screams sliced through the sound of the rain. 5 men surrounded her. Their shadows moved like wolves circling prey. One grabbed her purse, another shoved her to the ground. Daniel's pulse raced. He could have walked away, many would. But he thought of Lily, of the world he wanted her to grow up in. He couldn't stand by. "Hey!" he roared, stepping forward. The attackers turned, laughing at the drenched mechanic. "Keep walking, old man," one sneered. But they didn't know Daniel had seen worse nights in Afghanistan. He wasn't armed, but he had his training, and his will. The fight was brutal. Rain mixed with mud as fists swung and boots stomped. Daniel ducked, countered, and fought like a man possessed. One attacker fell, then another. Pain shot through his ribs, his knuckles bled, but he refused to stop. Finally, the last man cursed and fled into the storm, leaving their victim trembling but safe. Daniel helped her up. She clung to him, crying, "You saved my life, thank you." He just nodded, wincing at his bruises. "Just get home safe." He never even caught her name. The next morning, Daniel was making pancakes for Lily when the sound shook the walls. Thump, 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 thump. A helicopter hovered low over his small house. Neighbors spilled onto porches, pointing. Daniel rushed outside, shielding Lily. The chopper door slid open, and out stepped the same woman from the night before, this time dressed in an elegant suit, hair tied back, flanked by security. Daniel blinked. "You!" She smiled warmly, eyes glistening. "You didn't ask who I was last night." Turns out, she was Rachel Donovan, CEO of one of the biggest companies in the country. The attackers had followed her after a charity event, assuming she was an easy target. "I owe you more than my life," she said. "And I intend to repay it." Daniel shook his head. "I don't want anything. Just raising my daughter the best I can." Rachel crouched to Lily's height. "And you're doing a wonderful job." Then came the twist Daniel never expected. Rachel explained she had once been a child of a single parent too, a father who worked himself to the bone but always stood up for what was right. She saw the same strength in Daniel. "You reminded me of him last night," she said, voice cracking. "That kind of courage. This world needs more of it." She invited Daniel and Lily to her company headquarters, offering him not just a job, but an opportunity to use his skills leading a security training program for veterans. Daniel was speechless. For years he'd scraped by, fixing cars, barely paying bills. Now, his act of selflessness had opened a door he never imagined. Weeks later, Daniel stood in a crisp suit beside Rachel at a podium, addressing a crowd of employees. Lily sat in the front row, grinning ear to ear. He told the story, not of the fight, not of the pain, but of a simple truth. Doing the right thing isn't about recognition or reward. It's about the world we leave for our kids. One act of courage, one choice to stand up when others turn away, it can change everything. The audience rose in applause. Rachel wiped a tear. And as Daniel stepped down to hug Lily, he realized, sometimes the smallest choices, the moments no one plans, are the ones that shape destinies. That rainy night, he thought he was just saving a stranger. In reality, he was saving himself too, unlocking a future brighter than he ever dreamed. Sparkle's final message. Kindness has a way of circling back. When you act out of love and courage, even in the darkest storms, you never know what doors it might open, or whose life you might change forever.